Okay, boys and girls, I'm back again on a Wednesday. I posted a video earlier today um, going over mixed numbers and improper fractions, and we are going to go over some of the things for the IXL today. I did change the SMART score to an 80 for both today's skill and Friday's skill. So you only need to get to an 80. And for today, we are either changing improper fractions to mixed numbers or vice versa. So this first question here is write 11 halves, which is an improper fraction, as a mixed number. So essentially what this means is I have 11 halves, or I am taking 11 and dividing it by 2. So I can think to myself, if I have 11 halves, how many times does 2 go into 11? And that would be 5 whole times, and 5 times 2 is 10, and 11 minus 10 is 1, and so I would have a remainder of 1. So when I think about what this mixed number is going to be, it is going to be 5 and 1 half. And I want to look at this whole number right here, the 5, okay? 5 is 10 halves. So I'm using up 10 halves to make the 5 whole. And so therefore, I would have 1 half left over. So when you are typing that into the box, this is how you need to type it in. You have to type in the whole number, which would be 5, hit the space bar, and then your fraction is going to be 1 backslash 2. Okay. So that would represent the mixed number for 11 halves, and then submit. Okay. And let me get rid of this. All right. So the next problem is 6 2/7, and you are going to write that as an improper fraction. So 6 2/7. So this denominator right here, this 7, is telling me that those are the size of my pieces. So if I had a whole pizza and it was cut into sevenths, that means I would have 7 slices of pizza. So if I had 6 whole pizzas and I cut them into 7 slices each, that's going to give me 42. So when you're converting a mixed number into an improper fraction, you're going to take the denominator and you're going to multiply it by the whole number. That is going to give you 42 sevenths. Okay. 42 sevenths is 6 whole plus 2 more sevenths. So 42 plus 2 is 44, and your denominator stays a 7. So when you go to type that in, you type in 44 backslash 7. Okay. All right. I'm going to advance to the next couple of levels because they get a little bit more difficult. So let me go ahead and erase all of this. And basically, you're thinking about your division facts and what you have remaining. Your remainder becomes the fractional part of your mixed number. So let's go. Let me jump a level here. All right. So I got to click my mouse. All right. Jumping a level. All right. So here we go. This one, we have 55/18. Okay, so you might need paper and pencil here. Okay, so let's think about how many times 18 is going to fit into 55. Well, 18 and 18 is 36. If I added another 36, I mean, not 36, let's see, 18 and 18 is 36. Okay. If I added another 18, is that going to put me over 55? And the answer is no, it does not. So 3 18s will give me 54. So 18 goes into 55 3 whole times. Okay. 3 whole is the same thing as 54/18. And I have 55/18, so that means I'm going to have 1/18 left over. So your mixed number there would be 3 and, so space that out, 1/18. Okay. Changing this mixed number into an improper fraction. Again, if we have, let me change colors here. If we have 6 and 3/10, again, I'm taking my denominator and multiplying it by the whole number. That's going to give me 60 plus 3 more is 63. And the denominator stays the same. So that would be 63/10. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. That's going to be 11/2. I'm trying to get to another improper fraction. Let's see. Skip a level. Oh, Lordy. This is why I'm also having you only go to 85. Okay, so you are not having, I mean to 80, not 85. Sorry. Yeah. So once you get to 80, you can stop, because once you get into like the upper 80s and the 90s smart scores, you get really, really big numbers, and that is not necessary. So let me see. I just want another improper fraction, and it's not giving it to me. So let's try. Nope. All right, let me just make one up. Okay, so let's say we have 45/8. Okay, if I have 45/8, I think to myself, how many whole times can 8 go into 45? So you kind of have to think about your math facts. I know 40 is a multiple of 8, so how do I get there? 8 times 5 would give me 40. So 8 can go into 45 5 whole times. That 5 whole is 48. 48, this right here is exactly 5 whole. So if I have 45 of them, then the 5 remaining is the fractional part of my mixed number. Okay, so just get to an 80 for your SMART score on IXL for today, and hopefully they don't get too confusing. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to explain too is somebody had asked me if you can use a calculator to do this. What do you suppose happens if you use a calculator? Is it gonna put your answer as a mixed number with a fraction? No, that fraction is gonna be a what on your calculator? Oh, it's gonna be a decimal. So if you typed in 45/8 on your calculator, this is what you get. 45 divided by 8. It's gonna give you the whole number part, right? Okay, so it's going to give you that whole number part right here. There's your 5 whole. This part, the decimal 625 thousandths, that's the fractional part. 625 thousandths as a fraction is 5/8. Okay, and the reason why that happens is because when the calculator is dividing this, let me see here. If I am the calculator and I have this problem set up like this, so I know that 8 goes into 45 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. When I subtract, I end up with 5. Now, my remainder is 5. All right, so at this point, you could say, oh, my mixed number is going to be 5 and 5/8. But the calculator is going to say, well, we don't want a remainder, so we're going to continue to divide it out. So I don't have enough left over to make another group of 8. So this is where your decimal point and your annex 0 comes into play, which we talked about way back when in September, I think it was. That 0 gets dropped down here, and now you can continue dividing. And that's where you're going to get your decimal on the calculator. So 50 divided by 8 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48, which means you would have 2 tenths left over, which we would drop another 0. And 20 divided by 8 is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. And 20 minus 16, I'm running out of space, is 4. We would drop another 0, and finally we can end our division because 40 divided by 8 is exactly 5. So that's what your calculator does. Your calculator does not take that remainder and just hold on to it. It takes that remainder and continues the division process, and that's how you get your decimal. So this mixed number, 5 and 5/8, is the same thing as this decimal, 5 and 625 thousandths. Okie dokie. All right. So that is that. If you still have questions on IXL, let me know. If you really are struggling with this and you get to a 70 or you get into a SMART score of 70, that is okay. But your goal is to get an 80. So